Treasure Planet is now 20 years old. What in tarnation? How does time fly that quickly? But of course, this movie came out in the year 2002 after a hugely successful summer for Walt Disney Animation Studios. You know, with releasing a smash hit like Lilo and Stitch and everything. So how in the heck were they gonna follow up on such a true return to form? Well, they basically reimagined one of the greatest adventure stories ever told, Treasure Island, of course, written by Robert Louis Stevenson. The movie also follows Jim Hawkins' fantastic journey across a parallel universe as a cabin boy, all aboard a glittering space galleon. And this is an intergalactic treasure hunt instead. Jim Hawkins stumbles upon a map to the greatest pirate trove in the universe. And by map, I mean like a gold sphere or something like that. So obviously with this being Disney, the animation is going to be stellar. And I really respected how experimental these artists were going to be on this project. Not only were they playing around with a lot of the great character designs in here, they're also tinkering with 2D mixed with 3D animation. I'm specifically thinking of a scene where Jim Hawkins is aboard that pirate ship, or whatever it's called, which I'll get to. And it's a truly majestic moment as the ship passes by these three-dimensional whale creatures. And it is so jaw-dropping. Which, speaking of jaw-dropping, this movie is supremely exciting with a lot of really amazing action sequences. Which is made all the more exhilarating with a sensational score by the one and only James Newton Howard. Seriously, it feels like every note of music in the backdrop of these action sequences, it makes it all the more epic. That's what James Newton Howard is all about, my friends. He truly did it again with this project. And this movie really does understand the relationships between these characters, and you really do feel for a lot of these people. Jim Hawkins is voiced by Joseph Gordon-Levitt in this feature, and he does a fairly good job with it. Yeah, he is your more traditional rebellious young hero, but I love his setup. I love the relationship with his mother. I love the relationship he shares with Long John Silver, voiced by Brian Murphy, who, by the way, is having such a great time playing this character. It's almost like he's merging the energetic mannerisms of Ratigan from The Great Mouse Detective with Governor Ratcliffe from Pocahontas. Yeah, Long John Silver's motivations can be pretty boring. It's greed, just like Governor Ratcliffe in Pocahontas, and I will take this to my grave. He is the most boring Disney villain out of all of them. But thankfully, these filmmakers knew to make Long John Silver at least energetic, and he was a lot of fun to watch, as were the majority of these characters. Doppler is a really fun presence. You have this cat captain who's voiced by Emma Thompson, who is great as per usual. And you also have a defective robot who's voiced by the one and only Martin Short, who has a fun gimmick of losing his mind. Not in terms of his sanity, but of his memory, of course. It almost feels like a really nice precursor to what Pixar was going to do with Dory the next summer. It's a really fun gimmick, and I feel like Martin Short sells every bit of that. And of course, you gotta talk about the one and only Mort. This is a character that could have been really, really annoying, all things considered, but he's comparable to BB-8 these days. I love that little guy. And he's supremely important to a bunch of different aspects of this story, too. So kudos to the filmmakers for including him in such a facet as that. So obviously, guys, I have a lot of fun rewatching Treasure Planet. I think it's one of the more underrated Disney movies that's out there. It's not a movie without its flaws, though. A big one being that they set this one in the future, which a post-apocalyptic setting for a story like this, that's what it's all about, reimagining it. Conceptually speaking, this is a really neat idea, but I feel like there was a missed opportunity to really go all out with this. These characters are wearing clothes that look like they were made in the 1700s, and they're aboard actual pirate ships which are floating in space. And yet Jim Hawkins is surfing on this weird, like, hoverboard thing. It almost kind of sends a mixed message there, doesn't it? I'm just saying that I really do wish that these filmmakers really were a lot more consistent with the reimagining portion of it. Besides that, I really do think Treasure Planet is a really, really fun time. It's one of those Disney movies that tends to get overlooked, and it shows. This movie tanked at the box office. I believe $110 million budget, and it only made about $38 million of that back. That is insane to me. But not a whole lot to complain about despite some production inconsistencies. I'm gonna give Treasure Planet a B+. This is definitely a project you should should reconsider going back and revisiting, especially on its 20th anniversary. Oh man, where did the time go? But folks, let me know what you guys thought of Treasure Planet down in the comments section below, and let me know what you feel is the most underrated Disney animated feature. As always, I love discussing all things geeky, all things Disney, and all new things in the movie and television realm. If you guys are a new viewer, this channel is the right place to discuss all these topics and much, much more. Do consider smashing that subscribe button and that notification bell right next to it. And heck, leave a like on your way out. Why not? But guys, lots more exciting content to come. Speaking of Disney, their D23 Expo is next week, and I will be doing a live stream reacting to all the big announcements from Marvel Studios, Lucasfilm, Pixar, etc. They've also got Pinocchio coming out next week. The remake starring Tom Hanks as Geppetto should be a fun time. Hocus Pocus 2 comes out at the end of the month. Certainly a lot to look forward to, my friends. But y'all are the best. Thank you all so very much again for your continuous support. And with all that being said, Back Talk, commence.